Hello, good evening, and welcome to a new episode of Arguably the Reading Quest. Well, guys, there are certain terms that over the years have acquired so much of political connotations and underpinnings that it is very hard to, distinguish them and read them totally as against the political colored opinion about them. And one such term is Hinduism. So, in today's video, I will suggest three books uh, that you can read on Hinduism and that gives you some clarity of the origin and development of Hinduism and what Hinduism used to be and how Hinduism is practiced by a day-to-day living reality amongst Hindus, uh, minus its political underpinnings. Because Hinduism, I believe, is a term that has been in these 2-3 decades has been understood has been misunderstood in more number of ways than it has been understood. So the first book that immediately comes to my mind is The Origin and Development of Classical Hinduism by A.L. Basham. A.L. Basham, if all of you can recall, is a foremost authority on Indian culture and religion and needs no introduction. A.L. Basham is famous for his book called A Wonder That Was India, a book that has been, read by UPSC student of all generation for close to 50 years at a stretch. And it stands unchallenged till now, with only exception of Amartya Sen's Argumentative Indian, that was again the path-breaking introduction to the cultural history of India, probably published in the year 1998 or 99 when Sen was awarded a Nobel Prize in Economics and then subsequently Bharat Ratna. So A.L. Basham talks about the origin and the development of classical Hinduism. And this is to be read for, his explanation and analysis of various Hindu texts, be it Ved, be it Upanishad, his take on Buddhism and Jainism, and the Mahabharata and Ramayana as well. So with its vivid presentation of Hinduism sources and its clearly written explanation and analysis of major Hindu texts, I believe this remains one of the most lucid explanations and exposition to Hinduism written so far. So please have a look at it. The next book that immediately comes to my mind is Hinduism by Nirad C. Chaudhary. Nirad C. Chaudhary was a renowned Indian scholar and writer and famous for writing the autobiography of an unknown Indian, A Passage to England, and he was a fellow of the Royal Literary Society. So this book is a only original exposition of Hinduism, and it doesn't talk about the mythologies, the dogmas, and the rituals as found in the religious Hindu text. Rather, it talks about how Hinduism is practiced and what is the psychology and the behavior of the practicing Hindu, rather than the mythological part of it. So rejecting familiar assumptions about Hinduism, this book talks about a brilliant reassessment of the formative influences of Hinduism and how Hinduism has changed over the past 2000 years as it is practiced and as it is lived in a day-to-day life of a devout Hindu. So this is one, a book. Hinduism, A Religion to Live By, as the title says. It is published at Oxford University Press. I'm not sure if the book is still in print, but you can search at Amazon. However, A.L. Basham book is very much in print and is easily available. Another book, not exactly on Hinduism, but of course written by one of the foremost historians of ancient India, that is D.N. Jha, Ancient India in Historical Outline, where you will be able to understand the origins and development of Hinduism, the Aryan invasion theory, the myths surrounding the Aryan invasion theory, the other dissenting schools of philosophy like Buddhism and Jainism. There is a chapter included on materialism as well, which is unique only to this book. And this is a very original study. And in one chapter, there is a provocative chapter also added, that is the myth of the golden age. So I hope that interests you a lot. And this is also an introduction to the social and the economic history of India in its ancient period. So just to tell you, So the book is divided into total 8 chapters. So first one is the introduction, that how the European interest in the Indian past began, the early Orientalists and the Christian missionaries and the utilitarians and the Marxist philosophy, Marxist trends in Indian history, and the scope of the book. Then the second chapter talks about prehistory to the Harappan civilization. Then the third chapter talks about the Aryan and the Vedic life. So if you're interested in Hinduism, this third chapter is of utmost interest to you. It talks about of the Aryan theory of race, the Vedic literature, okay, the Upanishadic reaction, the ashram system, the sacrificial cult, and all that. Okay, chapter 4 is a unique chapter that you'll get in only in this history book. That is a material background of the religious descent, and the religious descent are Jainism and Buddhism. And then the last chapter talks about, of course, the myth of the golden age. Okay. So how golden was the golden age? So these 3 books, I believe, will put your understanding of Hinduism in perspective. And I hope you will enjoy it. All 3 are pretty, readable, very lucid and cogent to the core. Thank you so much. If still you haven't, liked, shared and subscribed my video, my YouTube channel, Arguably the Reading Quest, please do that. Thank you so much. Happy reading.